Thank you very much, Derek. It's a tremendous honour to be here at the second SNP conference to update you all on the preparations for the independence referendum campaign. Since last year, we've been working together in the referendum campaign committee, bringing together the very same key people who worked on the successful 2007 and 2011 parliamentary campaigns. We're using the very same professional approach to running a positive and optimistic campaign as we did in those two elections. Our mission statement, agreed by the National Executive Committee and our colleagues in the Scottish Government, is as follows. That we are launching a massive engagement exercise with Scottish society, both individually and sectorally, to identify supporters, opponents and waverers, and use every means at the disposal of the SNP to raise confidence, optimism and understanding of the independence case. This needs to be a campaign of unprecedented mobilisation and communication by the SNP. It must start immediately to maximise our advantage and secure victory. And as you all know, we are already up and running, working to that mission statement. There are 4 key concrete steps in the roadmap to delivering a successful outcome. Firstly, we're already galvanising and motivating our members and supporters. Secondly, we are planning for the Yes campaign to work with the many supporters of independence with no party affiliation and in other parties. Thirdly, we're already engaging with different sectors of society to raise confidence, optimism and understanding of the independence case. And fourthly, we are already reaching out within our communities, door by door, street by street, in the most unprecedented campaign of mobilisation and communication by the SNP and in the history of Scottish politics. Step 1 in the process has been to galvanise and motivate SNP members. I have to confess, this has not been particularly challenging. In case anybody has been oblivious to recent developments, our membership is going up massively, our motivation is extremely high, as is our morale. This has been obvious as we host special meetings with record attendances. In recent months, the Independence Roadshow has been travelling to the 4 corners of Scotland. Derek Mackay, who is directing the local government campaign, and I have attended more than 20 events to brief members on the independence referendum and the local government campaign. The only condition to hosting constituencies about the PowerPoint presentation is the provision of a screen in the venue. This was taken very literally in Aberdeen, where the Roadshow organised a multiplex cinema as a venue. It was a screen that was even bigger than this one. We've held subsequent events in hotels and public halls, in churches, schools, a university, a theatre and an SPL stadium. Locations for the Roadshow have taken us from Elgin to Aberdeen, to Aberdeenshire, to Dundee, to Angus, to Stirling, to Perthshire, to Edinburgh, to West Lothian, to Motherwell, to East Kilbride, to Kilmarnock, to Ayr, to Glasgow, to Strathkelvin, Bearsden and to Oban. There have been events in the Western Isles and Cumbernauld, and we have planned events for East Lothian and Mid Lothian, Fife, Galloway, the Mearns, Dumbartonshire and Caithness and Sutherland. There will be more to follow. So far we've travelled more than 3,000 miles and we've spoken to more than 2,000 people. The turnout at the meetings has been phenomenal, including many members who have literally just joined and many who have never been active or have not been involved for a long time. Any of you who've been to the events will attest to the amazing turnouts, the positivity and the sense of purpose. It's an opportunity to get a full briefing on progress and, just as importantly for us involved in the campaign committee, the feedback from so many people with suggestions and observations. For those of you who've not yet been to one, I'll give you a quick insight. In the presentation, we have a run-through of all the work we've been doing since the Scottish Parliament elections last year. This includes an understanding of the groundswell phenomenon in the electorate in 2011, which took us to 45% of the vote. And we will need in 2014 to take the yes vote past 50%. There's a reminder of how the public prefers a positive and optimistic approach and rejects grinding negativity from our opponents. We won in 2007 and 2011 in large part because the electorate warmed to the upbeat message of its time and team record and vision. We also stressed the importance of language and tone, This independence debate and campaign is exciting, it is historic, it is transformative, and confidence and optimism will grow as we communicate in these terms. This is about a better future for all in this country and for decades to come. It's about the future, not the past. We do learn from the past, but we are fixed on the future and the positive opportunities we wish to secure for all. On the roadshow, we go on to share an understanding of the detailed research we've been undertaking since last year. Following multiple tranches of qualitative and quantitative research, we understand that the Scottish public is in listening mode, and it does want to be persuaded. Many genuinely undecided voters want to be able to vote yes. They have queries about issues that matter to them, and when they are satisfied, they will vote yes. We understand the simple truth that resonates with voters, namely that it is fundamentally better for all of us if decisions about Scotland's future are taken by the people who care most about Scotland, that is, by the people of Scotland. It is the people who live here who will do the best job of making our nation a fairer and more successful place. And you will appreciate that a big stress in this message is that it is all of the people of Scotland. This is an inclusive message for an inclusive Scotland. It is for all people who call Scotland home. One thing that is striking from the roadshow is the great many people, the great many SNP members who have come to Scotland from elsewhere. This is something which makes me extremely proud. I know it's a source of pride to the SNP as a whole. Independence is for everyone in Scotland, regardless of origin, creed, colour or religion. Now, to give you an insight into the organisation and impact of a roadshow event, I'd like to invite the host of the last and most recent roadshow, that was last Friday in East Kilbride, Linda Fabiani, MSP, to the stage. Linda.
Morning, conference. You know, back in 97, 98, 99, when I was campaigning, Ian Hamilton QC gave me a bit of advice, which was take all the empty seats out the room, put them outside the door, and then tell the local paper that there was not an empty seat in the room when Linda Fabiani spoke. Well, let me tell you, on Friday night in East Kilbride, when we had our South Lanarkshire constituencies for the roadshow, we didn't have to do that. Because not only were there no empty seats, there were people standing along at the back. And when Ant and Dec of the SNP arrived in East Kilbride, it was to great acclaim. And I have to say to you, that the excitement in that room, as I said that night, I never thought for a minute Angus Robertson would ever make me quite so excited as he did on Friday night. So well done, Angus. The excitement in that room was palpable because there was that recognition that all these years, all that hard work, this was real. And here we were on the verge of what we have all believed for so long is best for our country, namely that those who live in this country are best placed to make the decisions for this country. And we're on the way, and that is very, very special for every single one of us. The presentation was marvellous. If any of you have not managed along to one in your own area, what I would say to you is pull out all the stops, get there somewhere. Train, boat, plane, get there and listen to it because it is truly inspiring. But it's all very well going along one night and saying, I feel truly inspired, I feel really excited. The hard work is there as well. And the planning is so important. One thing about that presentation you will see is the professionalism, the planning of it. Now, we all have to be professional in this. We all have to move forward, take people with us, get that groundswell that is required. So there's work to be done, there's planning to be done. In East Kilbride, Friday night, we heard from our member Dougie Malloy about how he intended to motivate the elderly that he deals with through the Elderly Forum there. We heard from Conor McGregor, one of our youngest and newest members, about how he intends to speak to all his age group. That's what we have to do. Get a team together that know how to tap into the different communities, that know how to reach people. Work with the branch executive, work with the independence referendum team take all these skills in, and skills we have aplenty. That's how we have to move forward. Just to close, as I was driving in there, knowing that Angus was panicking because I was late as usual, and I'm sorry about that, there was an old song in the radio, and it really struck home. Serendipity, it happens sometimes. An old song, I think a lot of you in this room will remember it. It was, accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative. I'm not going to sing it, you'll be glad to know. But it absolutely summed it up for me. So let's be positive, let's move forward with the realisation that before too long we are going to have an independent Scotland. Thank you very much.